big question that I get asked all the time is, what is my photography workflow? I mean, people have seen me edit on Lightroom and Photoshop, but where do I store all of my files and video files? And how do I organize things so that I can do the work that I can do? Now, if you're like me, you had to deal with all the different external hard drives, some failing, some very expensive, and they get all over the place. You have to deal with different cords, plugging them into different ports, and you wish you had a central area to access all of those files fast and efficiently. Not to mention finding your files once you've stored them away. This is my new online cloud. Besides photography and getting out and photographing wildlife and nature, this is the geekiest thing about photography. Being able to store your images and be able to create videos and content, all knowing where your images and video footage is and how to access them really, really fast. I've been using a NAS for over 7 years. We're gonna be doing everything from unboxing to adding hard drives, hardwiring them into our computers or accessing it through the internet, and even doing a remote access to this, which you can do from anywhere in the world. With that, let's get started. If you are new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I am a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Okay, what we have first is accessories. Nicely laid out manual and warranty card. All of our goodies right here. We've got screwdrivers. We got some Ethernet cables. This is it. This is a NAS. A NAS is a network attached storage system. And this model is the IDX6011 Pro. It is powered by an Intel Ultra processor, giving you plenty of performance for handling large files, photo libraries, and backups. 32 gigabytes of DDR5 memory built in, which can be expanded depending on your needs. The manual is very nicely laid out. It's got this NAS front to back, and I'm going to tell you about all the different features that this thing has. But yeah, rest assured it's right here in the manual. It also tells you how to add the different hard drives to here, so you can put in those spinny disk ones that I'm going to show you here in a second, and you can also put in solid state hard drives. And then how to connect it to your internet, how to hardwire it right to your computer, your laptop, and then access it anywhere in the world. So manual is great. The issue we have as videographers, photographers, or just someone who has, family photos, you name it, we have all of these hard drives. I even have really old ones where you have to have your own plug it into the wall. I've had quite a few of these fail in the past. We have to plug in each one with different cables, and now with USB-C on some of our newer laptops here, those are the only ports. So now you need to get adapters to be able to plug these in, and it's a bit of a nuisance, which is why you get one of these. This is your own private cloud that you can access from anywhere in the world. And when it's at home, you got these ports that allow for crazy fast transfer speeds. It's so much better than holding on to these little guys. So on the back here, we have 3 USB ports. One of them is a 3.2, which will give us really fast speeds. And then we have 2 ports that are 2.0. So these are going to be great for those other external hard drives that you have kicking around that are the older ones, and you can just plug them into the back here. And now it becomes part of your NAS. Next is 2 10 gig Ethernet ports. Plug these in to hardwire them into your computer. And this is an HDMI port, which is great for connecting it to your TV. It can transfer 8K video. Then we have the OCU link. Then we have a little reset button. Of course, over here is our power. I have our power cable for right here. And then UGREEN supplied 2 Cat 7 cables. Now I've got a really long Cat 6 right here, and it's going to go to my switch. So one of them is going to plug into there. And then I'm going to use another one to plug from this LAN right to this computer right here. Now on the back is a magnetic filter here, so you can peel that off, and there's two big fans to keep everything nice and cool. This is a really nice design here, so you can clean everything and then snaps right back on. So I'm going to switch this around and then we'll take a look at the front. So this is the front where we have our power button right here. Then we have these little LED lights that illuminate our drives and communicate to us. Then we have an SD slot right here for SD cards. Cards right here, and you can place them right in to your NAS. And then they'll come up on the computer. You can download everything. USB-C Lightning Bolt 4 ports right here. Last is another USB 3.2 port. Again, really fast transfer speed, so it's cool to have so many different ports here on this UGREEN NAS. Now for storage, you got 6 bays, and you can put in the 3.5 hard drives, which I'll show you in a second, or a solid state hard drive. I've got one of them right here. It's the 2.5 inch, and I'll show you how you install those. Now you can also expand the 2 cache drives in here for additional storage. And as far as size go, it's pretty compact, perfect for my office or in your studio. Put in what you need to, and then obviously slide them back. UGREEN supplied these right here. This is where you can lock your hard drives into place just in case your kid comes in and starts playing around with some of these and pulling them out. Here we got some hard drives to put into here. In the manual right here, to get the manual online, but here we have a really nice layout of all the buttons. We also have some instructions on how to install our hard drives. So I'm going to be using these 3.5 inch hard drives. They do have a spinny disk here. They can fail, but that's why we have multiple ones. Now you can also install a 2.5 inch solid state hard drive. So I have one right here. I'm going to show you how to install both of them, and it's really easy. So all you do is just pull this out, and the build quality is nothing too fancy. It's just plastic and some rubber here. It's going to be great for a lot of heat that these are going to generate. You don't want something like metal in here because then it'll generate a lot more heat. So plastic is totally fine, and these can just be inserted without any screws. Right here we have a little button right here. Push. So that just expands. These pins right here are facing outwards and down. So just like that, we have the front here. This is the top, this is the bottom, and it's the top that is expanding. And then we just push that down till it clicks. Plenty of airflow through it here, and it's not going to come loose. And that can just slide in there. It's clicked into place. We can lock it. Now, let's say if we wanted to install one of these. The instructions tell us that we need to remove one of these little rubber pins here. You can see that it's got a little cross right here. This will allow us to twist this out there. So that just came out. So that was right here, and then we just move it over into here. Now we have enough room to place this nice and flat. Now you can see right here, this is what you want to line up down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They supplied us with screws and a screwdriver to then install this like that. So once it's screwed into place, then that can slide in. Now before you power it on, there are a few important things to keep in mind. Do not remove hardware while the device is powered on. Always power off and disconnect before installing or removing drives. Avoid performing maintenance during data transfers, and always back up your data before installing new drives. So I've got it plugged in the back, and I've got a Cat 6 running from the back all the way to a switch, and then that is going to my router as well as my other computers. So it's all interconnected, and I'm ready to turn it on. Now, the bottom has LED lights, and those illuminate, indicating what port is actually connected. The first two LED lights is the LAN ports. So those are the two Ethernet ports in the back that will go to either my Ethernet router or to my switch. So those will light up wherever I plug them in. And then I have a light for each bay right here. So depending on what hard drives you have plugged in, it'll actually show, look, all 6 of them are lit up. So that's pretty sweet. We now have a communication panel right here, which is really cool. I can then hit the check mark for it to be English. And this is where we get to start. Scan to download the app. Tap register new device on the app to login page. Look at this. They make it foolproof. So here I can open their app here. Look at that. Comes right up. I can now just click register. Then you'll put in your account name, passwords, your email, all of that. All right, now we are initializing and setting up our device. So with the LED screen right here, it's giving us information that normally I would have to go up onto the app and look how it's performing. But right here, this nice screen is actually showing me all of that all the time. Now, it's already been really quick. I mean, I have a power cable, a Cat 6 in the back connected to my internet, which is why I was able to find it on my iPhone, because we're sharing the same network. And then I put my hard drives in there, which took like, what, a minute, because there's no screws, and it is doing its thing. You have learned the basic functions. Woohoo! Flexible storage layout, real-time hard drive health monitoring. Look at that, shows me all of my hard drives. So this is where I'm gonna want to put it into a RAID system. So now it shows me all of my hard drives that are plugged in here. Then if I scroll down, we have different RAID types that we can select. Now, since I have 6 bays, all with hard drive in there, we got quite a few different options. So what we want to think is speed and redundancy. Now, if we want the fastest speeds, well, we can pick, RAID 0, and basically everything works like a hot rod, really, really fast, but there's no redundancy. And it's kind of defeating the purpose of why we have this. So I like having at least a RAID 1, so that way if one fails, the other one will be there to go ahead and stitch over to. Now here I can select which hard drives I want to put into a storage pool. I'm going to select all of them and put them into one storage pool here. And I'm going to select RAID 5. When you click on it, this will break down how much data you'll have left over in that RAID system. JBOD, which is really, really fast, but you don't get any redundancy. RAID 0, the same thing. The performance is amazing, but you don't get any redundancy. Now you got to keep in mind that the speeds that it indicates it can do is theoretical. So if we pick a RAID 1 or a RAID 5, it's not going to be as quick as picking RAID 0. RAID 0 is going to be lightning fast, but you don't get redundancy because it still needs to do its work in the background, stitching the files to the other hard drives and working sort of as a team. So I'm going to go with RAID 5. This gives me the most and I get redundancy. So I got 9 terabytes available storage, and that's awesome for me. Now here's a question that I often get is, how are you accessing all the data that's on here? One is through the internet. Internet's great. Use your Wi-Fi and you can't transfer all the data from here to your computer and then back again. But the Wi-Fi is only so fast and it's transmitting through the air. You can actually hardwire this right to your computer. Now you might be thinking, well, all I have is USB-C ports in, say, a laptop. So that's where this will come in. Since this has the capability of transferring up to 10 gigabytes of speed through Ethernet, this is where you want to purchase something that could transfer from Cat 6 or Cat 7 to your laptop or your iMac or whatever you're plugging in. I plug that into the back here. This goes into my laptop or my computer, and this plugs into the back of the NAS. Now, this is going to cost you like 250 bucks, I think, Canadian, so that will work really well. Now, if you're someone who doesn't need super fast speeds, but you still want something that's okay, but not as expensive as this, you can get one of these guys. I think this was like 50 bucks. It is by UGREEN as well. Now, I bought this myself. They didn't supply it. But this is also a USB-C. Plug that in, and it can transfer 2.5 gigs of speed. This has massive storage capabilities. It can store up to 196 terabytes. Now, to put that into perspective, that is 69 million pictures, or 133,000 movies, or 205 million files. Okay, we're connected right now. I've got all my files right here. So when I click on files, it'll show me my shared files right here. I've got right now everything video, finished photos, raw images, and then I broke that down. Obviously, you can create new folders and different documents on here. And it works just like any other hard drive. Now, I've also got external hard drives here. And in the back, I have a 5 terabyte external hard drive that's connected, and I can access that right here, Elements. And it's got all my files and everything now connected to this NAS that I can access here. Now I can also plug in my CF Express card into my card reader, and this will just plug into the front, plugs into the front of this NAS, super easy access. And that is Lightning Bolt 4. It can transfer crazy fast speeds. And here it just pops up external hard drive or external storage number 2. And it's my Nikon card here. And there we go. If we wanted to see the different tiles, maybe larger images to see what's really going on, bada boom. So just like that, I can just plug in my cards right to the front of the NAS and then upload it directly. So I don't have to go through the computer at all, or through the Wi-Fi, or even Cat6. I can plug it directly into my NAS and upload it. Now, if you didn't want to access your NAS like we have right here through the internet, you can also do it through your Finder window. And we can go down to Network, and you can see that I have my NAS right here that I've named IDX6011. That is this guy right here. And I can open up all of my files. I can even see my 5 terabyte external hard drive in the back there. And I can see my Nikon Z9 card here. So I can just open it up like that. And voila, I've got all of my files now through the NAS. If you don't see your NAS pop up on your networks, you might have to go through the web here, go over to Control Panel, go to Device Connection, and here you have a LAN for access, you have remote access that you can set up. So these are UGREEN Link ID, remote access. So if I open up the web here, I can go to UGREEN. Here it is right here. So I just got to make sure that I write it down, this link right here. I'll copy this, and I'll paste it into my UGREEN link, and voila, we have access. Even places like here, by the warm fire, out in the middle of nowhere, I can have access as long as I have access to the internet. So if you have like Skylink, or for me, cellular, I just put a hotspot, and I can have access directly to my NAS at my home. If you're someone who's thinking about using cloud storage, let's just deep dive into what that's going to cost you. So Dropbox is a very popular cloud storage, and that is going to cost you, just for the standard, $25 Canadian a month. Now, if you bill yearly, it'll drop down to $21 a month, and that gives you 5 terabytes of storage. Now, if we look over at Google One for just 2 terabytes, you're going to be paying $14 a month. Now, the first 3 months, they have, a little special deal here where you only have to pay $3.50 a month. Of course, that's where they get you get sucked in. And once you upload your images to their cloud, you're kind of stuck with how they operate, as well as the upload and download speeds, which we're going to try right now by uploading a 10 gig file to Google Drive and see how quickly it is and compare that to our new NAS here. And we're going to pick this video right here. It's just under 10 gigs. Hit open, and down at the bottom here, it's going to tell us how long it's going to take. So 9.5 minutes to transfer a 10 gig file, and that is just to upload. Now, I have really fast internet. I got single mode fiber coming to my house, and theoretically, I've got 1 gig of transfer speeds through that internet package. Okay, now I'm going to upload a 10 gig file to the NAS here. I'm just going to drag and drop the same one. It's less than a minute. "23 seconds or 24 seconds. Wicked fast, wicked fast. Now let's download from the NAS and see how long that takes. So I'm going to drag and drop this file onto my desktop. It's even faster. Wow. Okay, that was under 10 seconds. Let's try that from Google Drive here. So let's download this and see how long this takes. Here we go. Any second. There we go. Done. So over 5 minutes. Everything looks great, but it took 5.5 minutes as opposed to 8 seconds to download. Now this NAS has an app center here, and you can download a bunch of different apps for security, music, videos, including a photo app that I've downloaded here. And this is where you can use some of the tools that this is set up with, like searching for similar or duplicated files, sharing management, custom learning. So you can train how to find and locate images in case it can't do that for you. So here I can go into albums. I've got videos all laid out. Object recognition, sunrise, sunset, sea, waterfall, snow scenes, dogs, you name it. Videos, locations, people. Now at the very top right, I've got a search bar right here, and this is where I can type in eagle. Now it'll search my files and photos, and just like that, I've got a bunch of eagle shots, both photos, videos, files, thumbnails, and it'll pull everything that has an eagle maybe in there. Now, sometimes it could be incorrect, and this is where you can go ahead and train the NAS to identify certain things. Tried ocean here, and it pulls everything, all videos, all files. It even pulled up one of my tide charts, which is really cool. Some of the flow planes over the ocean. This is a powerful tool to narrow down the images that you're looking for to create whatever it is that you're doing on social media or for a client. It's just a great access center. Now there's also Ulea. This is where you can communicate with the AI service that stays on your NAS and ask it for anything. How do I connect my IDX6011 to my computer? And just like that, it just lays out all the step-by-step connection guides that you can do between your NAS and your computer. You can also ask it to search all of your files, your photos. Now, right now, it is a local model that is communicating with me. You can use ChatGPT, but there's a privacy risk, so I don't have it turned on. I don't think I will ever turn it on, but it's there and it's free. You can also turn on online search, and you can use other things like summary. You can translate with it. There's also smart commands. Now this is pretty amazing. You can drop in files here and you can have it summarize everything. Here's a summary of a grizzly bear workshop that I had for a few years ago, and it gave me keywords, the main content, there's key points, summary and reflection. So it's a very powerful tool just to understand certain files. You can also find any photos or video file just by typing in keywords. And then if you're having problems with some of the apps and understanding them, you can use this chat, this AI chat, to figure out problems. And you can even translate those problems into different languages. There's a lot of things that you can do on this NAS that before with other models you couldn't. All you could do is just access your files. That was it. Here you can actually communicate and figure out where everything is and access it at lightning speed. You can even take voice memos. Like say if you have a Zoom meeting, you can take that recording audio file and have it transcribe everything. So if you're used to ChatGPT and other AI programs online, this is your own private one on your NAS that you can use. So very powerful. So thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in this product, there is a link down in the description below. If you aren't subscribed, think about subscribing, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Ciao.